Here we are, out for another run. Got to get some Spanish eventually. We went out yesterday, got one Moses, missed two, lost the blue bar, had a bit of a shocker. Anyway, look at this bar. Doesn't get much calmer than this. We've got massive tides, huge run in, giant run out. It'll be hectic when we come back in, just on the pressure waves off the run out tide. But anyway, let's see if we can just find those Spanish. A little bit more swell than yesterday. Sneak around the shallow bit. See if anyone's diving the headland for Jew. They got one here yesterday. Well, we decided to jump in and have a quick look for a Jew before we went out chasing the mackerel, given how calm it was and that there were no other divers in. But I didn't see a Jew straight up. Saw this beautiful Mangrove Jack. Ended up going 2.5 kilos, which is a lovely eating size fish, and nearly lost him. It shot him through the gills. I thought I'd done a pretty good shot, but anyway, as soon as I grabbed him, the spear fell out of him. But anyway, it's all good. Paul and I have dived this little cave a heap of times, and quite often it's sanded right up to the top and there's no cave, but at the moment everything's really scoured out, so it gives you a nice opportunity. You can often see a Mangrove Jack, or especially on this occasion a nice school of Jew hanging out there. There were a lot of undersized fish in this school, so I had to be really careful. Wait till I could put it through a legal fish and not go right through it and hit another one behind it. So I was just hoping they wouldn't spook off, but they were very calm. I've only got my arm and just my head sticking around the corner, so they can't see my whole body. But anyway, boned this one, which was good because it didn't spook the whole school. And you'll see the school come slowly swimming around the back of the rock. There was probably 100 odd fish there. Beautiful sight to see. I swam out to the boat to drop my fish off and swap over with Paul so he could go in and have a crack. Paul's done an injury to his finger and damaged his tendon really badly, so I got to load the gun for him, so it's just as easy to leave my gun in the water for him and let him just swim in with that.
That's all right. You have a crack. You have a crack.
73.
Yeah. Hey, look at this thing. Yeah, okay, this.
Nice fish, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. Here you go.
Alright, okay.
Paul knows this reef like the back of his hand. He's been diving it for many more years than I have, and as soon as I told him the cave was scoured out and full of Jew, he was straight into it and didn't disappoint. They're not big Jew by any means, but they're beautiful eating at this size. Mine was 73 and Paul's was 76, so he just did a little bit better than I did. Well, we dived quite a few different reefs. Had beautiful conditions, nice current, blue water, not much bait around. It was the right moon phase and I just couldn't see a Spanish to save my life. Anyway, I finally had one come in when I didn't have the camera rolling, and I just had to put the shot into it and then I turned the camera on. But it ended up being a beautiful mackerel, 16.5 kilos. Fortunately there weren't any sharks around, so I was able to take my time with this guy and really play him out. Much safer to do that. You never know, even with a good shot, go too hard on them, you can rip it and have something unfortunate happen. Flopper close, spear fall out, anything can happen. So if you don't have to rush it, don't rush it, and I had the luxury of doing it. I also had Paul next to me, so I could have got him to put a second shot in if it was a sketchy shot. When I'm landing Spanish, I always just try to grab them around the wrist of the tail, let them do that little kick out that they always do when you get hold of them, and then slide your hand up the belly into the gills, being careful not to let your hand slip up near the teeth. And once you've got a good tight grip of the gills, any size mackerel's under control. So, yep, got this one.
I heard the float go whizzing past me.
I always icky-jimmy my fish with a knife. Be careful with the Spanish, you've got a soft head. If you go too hard on them, you can go right through and stab yourself in the fingers where you're holding the gills, and then as soon as I've brained it, I then start pulling the gill rakers out to bleed the fish out. I'm just going to have a twofold benefit. Of course, it gets the blood out of the fish and improves the eating quality and the keeping quality of it. But those big gill rakers drifting down in the current as well can bring other Spanish mackerel in and give you a chance at another fish. Even though this fish is brain dead, his heart will keep pumping for a little while after you've killed it. So it's important to get those gill rakers out as quickly as possible and get the maximum amount of blood out of the fish.
It's good on.
Good on you, mate.
Good on, eh?
I heard the float whiz past me. That was awesome.
Alright, nice Spanish. Seeing nothing. We finally got this big boy. Come in, very doughy. Fortunately I didn't have the camera running, but anyway, good thing is, going in the ASCII. Happy days, woo! Alright, good one. Here's a little footage from the day before, the only fish that I managed to land, this nice Moses perch.